This is the Chapter 7 exam review. So jumping right into number 10. For each regular shape, remember a regular polygon means all the sides and angles are the same, gives the sum of the measures. Okay, you want interior angles, one interior angle, and an exterior angle. So we reviewed that for finding the sides, we do n, or not the sides, the interior angle sum, we do n minus 2 times 180. So a hexagon, we're going to go 6 minus 2, because that's the number of sides, times 180. 4 times 180 is 720 degrees. So that's the sum of all of them. To find an interior angle, we divide it by the number of sides, which is 6. And we get that an interior angle is 120 degrees. And then an exterior angle, we know the sum is always 360, and we divide it by the number of sides. So 360 divided by 6 is 60 degrees. All right. One kind of note you could make is that these two should always form a straight line, so they should add to 180 degrees if you're doing it right. All right, let's try this next one. So an octagon, we're going to go 8 minus 2 times 180, which is 6 times 180, and we get 1,080 degrees. So that's the total. And then I take that number and I divide it by 8 interior angles to get the one interior angle. So that's 135 degrees. And again, we know exterior angles always sum to 360. And we divide it by the number of sides, which in this case is 45. And again, if you want to check these two together, add to 180. And that's the case here too. Number 11, find the coordinates of the intersections of the diagonals. Okay, so when you have a problem like this, highly recommend just getting a ruler, making sure you're doing it really neat, and you should be able to pick out the points. So I'm just going to go ahead and graph. -8, -7, -6, -1, 0, 1, -2, -7. Oh, I thought that didn't look right. I read one of the points wrong. It is -6, +1, and that is starting to already look a little better. So I'm going to go ahead and connect these lines. Okay, and I'm trying to find where the diagonals intersect. So I'm going to take a ruler, and as straight as possible, I'm connecting those diagonal lines. And if you look closely, they do intersect exactly at a point. And that point is -4, -3. So again, a question like that, if you use your ruler, you should be able to find the intersection easily. Number 12, when we have a trapezoid, right, and we know this is a trapezoid because the top and bottom are parallel, so that makes it a trapezoid. And we know that in a trapezoid that these same side interior angles add to 180 degrees. So same thing on both sides. They both add to 180 degrees. And so that's how we solve for both of these. So I can do 180 minus 43 degrees, and I'm going to get that A is equal to 137. I can do the same thing on the other side. I can go 180 minus 112, and I get that B is equal to 68 degrees. in number 12, it says find the measures of the numbered angles in a parallelogram. One thing that we learned about a parallelogram is that opposite angles are congruent. So that's a property that you need to know. Opposite angles are congruent. And from there, it should be pretty easy to solve. So angle 2 has to be 140. But then how do we find those other missing pieces? And I think it's important to realize, again, that like these sides are going to sum to 180. No matter how you look at it, right? They sum 180. They're same side interior, just like a trapezoid. So I can do 180 minus 140, and I get 40 degrees. So angle 1 and angle 3, because opposites are congruent, are equal to 40 degrees. Number 14, the nice part about number 14 is that it tells you which parts are congruent. And we have two variables to pay attention to. So I know that these two parts are congruent. And then I know that these bottom two parts are congruent. But I have to solve for the green first because this only has one variable, x. And the blue has x and y. So you have to solve for the green one, green side lengths, before you can solve for the blue. So let's go ahead and jump in. So I'm going to go 13 is equal to x plus 2. We solve algebraically by subtracting 2, and I get that x is equal to 11. Now I'm going to plug this in. So 11 plus 12 is a side length of 23. And now I can set these two sides equal to each other. So I'm going to go y minus 6 is equal to 23. I'm going to add 6, and y is equal to 29. Okay, this last part for chapter 7, it says find, so you have diagonals in a rhombus, okay, and we're given some information here. So one thing that I want to know, and again, this is a property that we learned, the diagonals of a rhombus intersect at 90 degrees. So all of these inside angles right here are 90 degrees. And now I'm going to go ahead and try to like fill in this picture. So let's go ahead and start with the measure of AMD. So AMD is this inside angle right here. And we just said that all the diagonals intersect at 90 degrees. Okay, let's try this next one. ADM. Okay, so let me trace this. A to D to M. So it wants to know what this angle is right here. And so I'm going to have to like do a few little things. And one thing that we know, so let's work backwards. Quick, let's talk about properties. We know that diagonals of a rhombus bisect. So this is also 53. And then opposite angles are congruent, so these are 53. And then I have a triangle here, so I could solve for this missing angle in this triangle by going 180 minus 90 minus 53 and figuring out what's left. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right here. So 180 minus 90 minus 53. And I get 37 degrees. So this angle is 37, which makes this angle 37, and these angles across also 37. So we now know the measure of angle ADM is 37 degrees. And if you look at the answer key, I'm pretty sure that that one's wrong, but the video is right. Okay, then the measure of angle ACD. ACD. So from A all the way across to C to D. So we know that that angle is 53 degrees. All right, my picture is getting a little crazy, but we'll just keep at it. D to M. So this diagonal length, we know the one diagonal 16, they get bisected, so that is also 16. And then the last piece here, A to C, the whole diagonal across, if the part is 12 and this part is 12, the whole thing is 24.